Chuck, when did you come to your first AME conference?
Just last year.
Just last year.
Yeah.
And what did you learn?
I learned what I was hoping to learn, I guess, that there's a different way to solve problems.
Right.
That it doesn't have to be orders from above, that if you engage the intelligence and energy of all the people doing their work, and you presume they want to do a good job in the first place, that great things can be accomplished.
And your expertise is in supply chain.
Supply chain.
So, when you came this year, are you presenting at the conference?
No, I'm not. No.
What supply chain presentations, keynote speakers are you planning to attend over the course of the conference?
Well, I spent a whole day in a workshop today on pull systems that we're interested in. Beyond that, I haven't really mapped out my itinerary yet.
Okay, that's fair enough. What would you like to learn to take back to your operation?
Yeah, I discovered last year, I found myself later in the week gravitating more to the sessions that were about engaging people, motivating people, what is required of leadership to make it work, than the nuts and bolts number crunching sessions.
So what are the challenges in implementing a full supply chain rework or solution?
Oh my.
That you might feel you might be able to, what's one that you want to tackle? The supply chain, the culture.
Yeah, the number one thing for us is to improve the utilization of our inventory, the turnover of our inventory. And that's process, that's people, that's tools, that's training. And so we've got all those to work on. I get a lot of direction on tools from any number of people, and you can get that most anywhere. Coming here, I learn a lot more about what the different roles, different levels of leadership take on in this lean way of doing things. That, to me, is the key.
And what are some of the keys that you've learned from AME conferences about how to motivate people or how to institute change and continuous improvement in your organization?
I remember I think one of the speakers in the big hall last year, I said, not atypically, there's a lot, one of the big questions is what's in it for me? It's a legitimate thing, not a negative thing. What's in it for me for the people actually doing the job is they get more control. They get to actually want to improve things, as they always have, but now they get to actually improve it. So they're given the support to make improvements of their own work. And what's in it for the people at the top of the organization of providing the leadership and then seeing the benefits, seeing the results. If you give the resources to people, they'll get it done. And as usual, what I loved about the speaker, he said, as usual, the guys in the middle are stuck because they get the leaders on top pushing down on them saying, here's the new direction, let's go. You got the worker, or the people doing the work, doing the jobs, doing the tasks, being empowered. And now you get this new person in the middle that always has grown up thinking they're supposed to be in charge. They need to empower their people. And that's a tough transition for a lot of folks. So I think learning some of that from people that have actually done it. Not a bunch of consultants. I love consultants, worked with lots of them. They're people too. But learning it from people who have been through the ugliness. I always thought I was a good manager, and then I got into this and realized the different roles I had to take on.
So people for you at the conference, would it be practitioners?
Oh, yes. Yes, and that's the beauty of this conference, I think. You're talking to people. When there was a guy last year doing a speech late in the week, I think it was in the morning. Up till then, there have been some extremely, just polished guys right off of the silver screen. I mean, they engaged you. They took you off your chair. And this guy got up there, and I thought, oh, he's not quite as polished as everybody else. But by the end of his talk, he was more powerful than everybody else because it was his company. He stood up there and said, my company was going out of business until I started doing this, and here's what we did. And that's not a consultant that flew in for a gig, which is well-paying and noble. This was this guy's business, and he was going out of business, and he saved his business with the help of those people that worked for him by applying these principles. And you don't get that anywhere else.